Hello everyone, welcome to The World According to Jason. Today we are in Manhattan, just north of Times Square, and we are at Ichiran, which is my favorite ramen place in all of the world. I've never been outside of Japan, so this is going to be a super awesome treat for me. All right, so when I said I've never been outside of Japan, that was a slight lie. I have been in Hong Kong, but I've never been in the US. I've never been to an Ichiran outside of Asia, so this is a first for me. Okay, so once you get in, they will sit you down, and you have your own little private booth. This is something that's unique to Ichiran from what I've seen. I haven't seen it in any other ramen shops, but it's kind of cool if you're by yourself. You just get this little zone where it's just you. You have some dividers on both sides of you, so you can just have this private dining experience. But they do also make it to where you can kind of collapse the dividers if you are sitting next to somebody. So I have the titanium colon here with me today. So we have the divider split, so that way we can like talk to each other and stuff, which is really nice. And once you sit down, you're gonna have 2 sheets of paper you're gonna need to fill out. The first one is where you're gonna choose your broth type. And if you want anything like rice or any other sides, like they have a combo side that comes with some chashu, comes with some mushrooms, some scallions, and some dried seaweed, and a soft-boiled egg. You can also add other things individually. You don't have to do the combo necessarily. And then on your second piece of paper is where you're gonna totally customize the bowl of ramen. So you're gonna choose how spicy you want the broth, you're gonna choose how strong the flavor you want the broth to be, how firm the noodles are. You can choose whether you want garlic, a lot of garlic, or no garlic, or you can choose, there's also an option you'll notice on the first page, it's called kedama. And what that means is you want more noodles. So typically you finish the noodles before you finish the broth. And this gives you a chance to either have a half portion or a full portion of extra noodles. So once you finish your noodles, you can say kedama, there's a little button that you can push and it'll bring the server back and they'll bring you your next serving of noodles. So you have noodles to go with every ounce of broth that you have. So this is super exciting. Like I said, I've never been to an Ichiran in the US. I'm hoping that it tastes just as good as it does in Japan because it is my favorite ramen I've had in Japan. Outside of the Naki Ryu, I think the Naki Ryu might be my #1 favorite ramen of all time, but we've placed our order, we're just waiting for it to arrive, so as soon as it gets here, we'll let you know how it is. Okay, so the food just arrived and it looks amazing. One thing to note is that the bowls look very different from the traditional style bowls that I have seen in Japan, like where they're like a round bowl, and even on Google, for the reviews for this place, they had pictures with the traditional bowl. I don't know, it's very interesting. But first things first, we're gonna try out the broth. Oh man, this is so good. It is so rich and so creamy. And the spice level, I chose spice level 2. I think that's the perfect spice level. Like it's got just enough of a kick, but not too much where you're gonna like not enjoy the meal, you know what I'm saying? But if you are sensitive to spice, definitely go lower or none at all, but you gotta try a little bit. But yes, this broth is amazing. I'm gonna do something a little unorthodox here. Instead of going for the noodles next, I'm gonna try out the egg. So the egg, it's gonna come to you still with the shell around it. You just have to take the shell off and then put it into, it'll be cold, so put it into your ramen to kind of heat it up a little bit. But let's see how it is. So it's a soft-boiled egg, so the inside should be creamy, not fully cooked. And it's a little more cooked than I'm used to. I think in Japan they do a better job with the soft boiled, but it's still very delicious. It adds a nice eggy, kind of a yolky flavor to the broth and to the noodles. It's really, really good. All right, well, let's go in for the noodles. Let's see how those are. Yes, the noodles are just as good as I remember. I chose the firm side because I like them to be a little bit more chewy, and they're perfectly chewy for me. This is exactly how I prefer my noodles. Really, really good. All right, let's find a little bit of chashu, and let's see how that tastes. All right. Here's one piece of chashu. Let's see how it is. It's so tender. It just kind of melts away. It's chewier than like A5 Wagyu, obviously. Super tender, and you have that nice, delicious porky flavor. Absolutely beautiful. This is just as good as I remember it being in Japan. Now, it has been like over a year and a half since we've last been there. So, I mean, maybe this is recency bias, but I do feel that this is really, really good. But next time we go to Japan, we're gonna come back here just before. We'll try this again, and then we'll get it in Japan. So that way they're very close to each other, and I can let you know if it's just as good or which place is better. But this is a solid bowl of noodles. Really, really good. Really happy with this. All right, I'm gonna polish this all off, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just finished the bowl, and that was fantastic. And much like with the traditional bowls you get, there's a nice little message for you at the bottom. I have no idea what it says, but there's a logo for Ichiran inside too, so there's incentive for you to finish your portion. So, with that, I think they did a really good job of capturing the feeling and the taste of Ichiran in Japan. The only complaint I have is that the soft-boiled egg wasn't soft-boiled enough. It was a little overcooked, but that's a minor complaint. Other than that, it's really good. They do have like a loyalty program, so if you live in the New York area and you plan on coming a lot, you can earn rewards and I think discount coupons and things like that. So this is a highly recommended place. I'm gonna give this a perfect, well, I'm gonna give the ramen a 10 out of 10. The soft-boiled egg, I'm gonna give a 6.5 out of 10 because I think they could have done better. But other than that, this is a great place. Well, that's gonna bring us to the end of the video, folks. I really enjoyed this. I'm so glad I came. I hope you enjoyed the video as well. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, and hit the bell notification so as soon as new videos pop up, you're gonna be the first to know about it. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. Until next time, stay curious.